Thank you very much. My name is Musa Mohammed Saeed, and based on the tentative title which has been given to us, what barriers do young people face in accessing quality education and possible solution? Young students or young people actually face several barriers. They face several barriers to accessing quality education, particularly in the low-income countries such as Ghana and emerging countries such as India, as well as the marginalized context. These challenges actually group these challenges into three thematic areas: into structural, socio-economic, and also the socio-economic and cultural categories. What are some barriers to accessing quality education? And one of the barriers to accessing quality education is what we call economic barriers. Economic barriers in terms of poverty, economic barriers in terms of child labor, economic barriers in terms of the lack of infrastructure in rural and remote areas. Another barrier to accessing quality education is what we call the gender inequality. Girls often face discrimination, early marriage, as well as the safety concerns. Another barrier to accessing quality education is what we call the quality and teacher shortage, which is very, very important because underqualified and unmotivated teachers, especially in remote or rural areas. Another barrier is what we call the digital divide. Another barrier is also what we call the language and disability inclusion. Students from linguistic minorities or with disabilities often lack tailored learning support. Another barrier is what we call the conflict and displacement. Another barrier or the water conflict and displacement in war or most conflict areas. Schools are often unsafe and also destroyed. What are the possible solutions to curb these anomalies, and what are the possible solutions to ensure equitable education? And one of the possible solutions is what we call investment in public education infrastructure. It's very important we invest in public education infrastructure. Another solution is what we call to subsidize education costs. We need to subsidize education costs. We need to abolish our subsidized school fees, uniform, books, and transport. Another solution is what we need to strengthen the teacher training as well as teacher training and incentive. Another solution is what we call the curriculum reforms and language inclusion. Another solution is to promote digital access. Another solution is to gender responsive education policies. And another solution is what we call inclusive education for disabilities. And lastly, another solution is to support for conflict affected youth. In conclusion, an equitable education system requires targeted investment, inclusive policies, and community engagement. And one-size-fits-all approach will not work. Solutions must be localized, intersectional, considering the gender, income, geography, disability, and language. Collaboration among government is very important. Collaboration among NGOs is very important, and collaboration among the private sector is essential for sustainability or to ensure, or for it's essential for sustainable impact. Thank you.